quote unquote get the X amount of likes, you think it wasn't an impactful post, and that's not the case at all.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned about the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds back then versus the 20, 30, and maybe even 40-year-olds now, because Chuck D also spoke in that interview about the fact that, and you know, Jay-Z will say 30's a new 20, I'm still hot still, and that seems to be a battle, and it seems to be a sort of thing.
Brothers hear me, man.
Oh, yeah.
My fault, bro. It's just
cool.
They killing me, Smalls.
It's cool. No, I was just getting to the point, and I'm gonna get into the question though, but I was just getting to the point because Chuck brought a good point about how in the 60s, how our 20 and our 30-year-olds seem to be more willing to accept responsibility, and it was put on them to be responsible.
Yeah.
Now, how you got, like I said, with Jay-Z, 30's a new 20 or 40's a new 30 or this and that. It's like we always want to go a decade back. And so what Chuck D also spoke about, and I'll get to the question and pass it on to you, Pete, though, but it just seems like now, you know what I'm saying, though, we're not taught to be responsible until we're older. We're not taught to be leaders or be responsible to be leaders until we're older, instead of saying, no, right now, this is the responsibility that you have, though. And it's not that you can't go through what you have to go through in life, but there's a responsibility, especially for you as a man, as a father, if you become a father early in life or whatever, though, or just especially in the Black community too, that you have a responsibility that's bigger than you. And I think that we have been taught and have been duped into believing that we can go ahead and not be responsible, whatever. Like somebody will say, like, you know what I'm saying, for instance, and I think sometimes we'll even use it. I'm only 37, or I'm only 35, or I'm only 36. You know what I'm saying? No, instead of saying, no. I have a responsibility because I am this young and because I am this vital to go ahead and do it, especially while I have the energy to go out here and be that leader, though. And so I just kind of want to speak on that, though. Chuck, you brought up a great point, though. It is a difference because, like, you know what I'm saying, though, where are our Stokely Carmichaels? Where are our Fred Hamptons? Where are our people, Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's? We think about it, they
That's what Chuck said?
all before they were 40. Yeah. You know
okay. I was going to ask. I wanted to hear what Chuck said. My bad.
Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead. Go ahead and fill him in.
So, no, I was just saying, like, if you look at our leaders today versus our leaders back in the 60s, right. Our leaders today are celebrities, they're actors. Right. I gave the point of a stand-up that Dave Chappelle did, and I think he was talking about an MTV interview where the lady was asking Ja Rule about his political views. And Dave Chappelle was like, who the fuck cares what Ja Rule thinks? I was like, when did Ja Rule become that type of person? Right? Mm-hmm. And so celebrities, actors, actresses are looked at as leaders versus like a Huey Newton or versus Malcolm X or Martin Luther. Like, we have no modern day Martin Luthers, no modern day Malcolm X's. We got a bunch of celebrities speaking out on these issues. Like Terry Crews, like, nigga, fuck what Terry Crews thinks.
Right.
Like, fuck with Kanye West, even Kanye West. Bro, I don't give a fuck what no celebrity says about anything because they are too tied in. Like, their mindset, in my opinion, they're like too tied in. It's like you can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't. Like, you can't be in Hollywood. Like, what happened to Nick? What happened with Nick Cannon? Nick Cannon is too much into Hollywood, in my opinion, for me to view him as a leader of the Black community.
Right.
But because if you're a leader in a true, authentic leader in the Black community, you're a threat to everything that Hollywood stands for.
Right.
So you're not going to be tolerated, let alone last long, being in Hollywood and being for the Black community. So,
it's so many ways to unpack that question, Amir and Chuck. It's some key points you definitely had, and you were saying some valid things. I will say the slippery slope of what you said, like celebrity, like that word the way we make that word so powerful is bananas. But it's some folks, some famous folks that could have done some things. Like, listen, and I'm gonna come back to what I said about that as far as famous folks who could have done some things. It's all programming, right? We all talk at every single show we do. How many years have you been doing this show? 4 years. Yeah. And shout out to the folks who rock with us. You know what I mean? It's okay to say it out loud and in public too. We always put an onion back. We always come full circle in all our conversations, bro. You know what I'm saying? We talk about programming. We talk about the evilness of this world. We talk about everything and how all this shit ties in. Like, you don't. Of course, you're not gonna see a Fred Hampton now. They killed him while he was asleep next to his pregnant baby, next to his pregnant girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, they killed our heroes. They killed the Malcolm X's. Even Martin Luther King, when he knew the bullshit, when he was on that shit, they killed him. And then what happened? Like, we don't even have to talk about them. Let's talk about the Sam Cooks. You know what I'm saying? The Master P before Master P, like, they killed him because of a Jewish manager who owned his shit to this day had got him murked. Because Sam Cooke was on some, we need to own our own shit. I'm rocking with all this civil rights movement shit, and I'm about to fund everybody. I'm about to get everybody bread to get it popping. They murked him for that. And then you look at the timeline, 70, 80, 90, you start hearing less and less about black ownership. You stop hearing less and less about the black movement in music. It became more saturated, more sickening, and you stop hearing about having your own. But now you go to you hear the meeting they had with when Eazy-E and them boys came out. I know y'all boys heard about that infamous meeting about where music was gonna turn to. So these motherfuckers who also own the music companies, they own these private jails and shit. Now how they gotta fill them up? You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's so many ways to unpack what you said, Amir, bro. Like, it's definitely not, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not geared towards you can start this shit now. Fred Hampton was 20 when he died, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
And imagine all the shit he did before he died within a year or two. I think he joined the black one. He was like 18, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so from 17, 18 to 20, them 3 impactful years has been, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, I don't know, man. I know I'm going off on a tangent, and it's just like, it's not there anymore. Like, the music we hold, and I'm a whole fan. I fuck with his lyrics. He talks his shit. He spit, but I don't know. It wasn't. Folks wasn't big enough to Fred Hampton's, the Marcus Garveys, that type of rhetoric. And when folks try to do that, they got pushed off. Hence Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely is it tied in, and I didn't hear what Chuck D said. I didn't listen to the interview, of course. Fucking Vlad. Why he had to do it on Vlad? You know what I'm saying? There's so many fucking platforms out here. Could have went to the Joe Budden. You know what I'm saying? Like, why Vlad, fam? That made me question them folks too. Even, you know what I mean? I know I get it. They all spit. They do their thing. You know what I mean? But y'all go to his platform. I don't get it, man. But I agree with everything I said. Like, it's not priest no more, and that's the narrative that got to be changed. You don't have to wait for a certain time to be great, or to speak your mind, or speak your voice for the voiceless, or however you feel that's positive towards growth or enhancing our people or anything for the better. Don't be silenced on that shit.
Yo, Pete, I was giving Amir an example. So a few summers ago, I was mentoring some high school kids, right, during the summer. And, I used to work with them every day. And I would play some, we would have some conversations about culture, music, and everything. So they started asking me, do you know who Lil Wayne is? I'm like, yeah, I know Lil Wayne is. Do you know who Tupac is? I'm like, yeah, I know Tupac. So they started asking me all these questions. And I was like, okay, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all know who Talib Kweli is? Bro, when I tell you all 8 of them said no, I'm like, what? Like that's the problem.
We might use another example.
Uh-huh.
Talib, I know. Y'all see that shit? He going Twitter war beefing with a.
This was a Talib a couple years ago.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And I'm like, yo, how do y'all not know who Talib Kweli is?
Because it's not pushed to them.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's no balance anymore. It's not. We had to discover Talib because our generation was right at the tail end of they still was playing some shit on the radio. And it's like, and even then it was still bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but it was still like college radio. Buff State had a radio station. Now I went to my sister went to college out here and I was doing music back then. It was still radio stations and other outlets for us to push through and get the Talibs, the Most Defs, the Black Stars. You know what I'm saying? The Dead Prez, all that righteous dope ass music that I think is making a comeback now because the world and the gods up above is forcing this shit.
Yeah.
Because now nobody want to hear. I'm sorry, nobody want to hear right now. You know what I mean? Diamonds in your bag, in your damn chain. We not about that right now. Talk your shit. You can always vent. Always be creative. It's always a story to tell, but it's yeah.
Yeah, man.
What I get from what y'all both said, what I gather is that we look for the oppressor to tell us who's supposed to lead us.
Mm-hmm.
You said you speak of celebrity. It's like the ones that we choose.
Right.
They either try to vilify.
They killed Nipsey Hussle.
Or demonize them, or kill, or just.
They killed Nipsey Hussle. Y'all saw what type of time he was on.
Right. And if they don't kill you, they kill who you are. Or they try to do that, or try, publicly humiliate you and do different things, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Say what you want about DMX. He started off and ended every show with a prayer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did he have his own demons?
Bad matchup against Snoop, though. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that bag, but I'm just getting into just the idea of, you spoke on it, Pete, about celebrity being used, though, and Chuck, you talked about how we sometimes, maybe celebrity does sometimes get vilified, because I think people that can be celebrities can be leaders. You know what I'm saying, though, because to be celebrity is to be celebrated. We just celebrate sometimes the wrong people. But I do think we tend to use entertainers and actors out there as the face, like, T.I.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you go out here and vote, man. You go out and vote, pimp. And Diddy and Jay-Z, all these people that we are told they're your leaders. Oprah's your leader. When they buck dance, we act surprised.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're put here for a reason.
Yeah.
To undermine the real ones.
The authentic leadership.
That's the forefront.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yo, just real quick, peep it all, right? Because that's how the system is. It's just worse for us because they got our foot on their necks. You know what I'm saying? But look, you got a fucking when did Bill Gates become Dr. whatever?
Dr. Gates.
Who made him fucking when did he get a doctor whatever the fuck you need to be a doctor? When did he get that? And when did we ordain this motherfucker to health dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Just
right. He's out here handing out this guy, this computer nerd, is handing out vaccines.
And it trickles down to us because they got, like I said, the foot is on our necks. They so many miles ahead of us. They put us through bullshit. Now we looking at the hoes and all these folks that go from Barack to vote for Hillary to say vote or die and all that because they got the bread and we chasing that. You know what I'm saying? They in the position with the bread and we chasing that. Yeah. So it's times 10 for us, but that's just some worldly shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy out here though, man. But just to kind of bring the point back, just to kind of bring the point home, man. Young people, I think we have to, I guess, and I spoke to this, Chuck. Remember, I told you. I remember you said something about I'm not quite on Malcolm X level at one time.
Mm-hmm.
You are, man. We are. And
we are. I was gonna say, yeah, we are.
I think we have to own that more and more. Again, it's not to say that we're going to be